Happy New Year to you guys. And it's been a few days. Oh, I want to wish my wife a happy birthday. Today's her birthday, so I'd be in big trouble if I forgot that. Coming off a big win in Washington, nice road win for us. Very focused this week on the Pittsburgh Steelers. What a great opportunity, great rivalry in the NFL. You know, as you guys know, I'm from Cleveland, so the Cleveland-Pittsburgh games have always been near and dear to my heart, 70s, 80s, 90s on through when the Browns came back in 99. So it's been a good week thus far. Hopefully get outside and practice today and continue to improve and get better. And I think we played really well on Sunday. We played well the second half of the season on special teams. We need to continue that and set that foundation for 2023.
An AFC special teams player. I mean, just what have you seen about even the last 5 games of just what he's elevated this season to?
He's becoming a more consistent performer. When we signed Corey as a free agent, that's what we expected from him. He had some good games early, but he had some games that he'd like to take back. We'd all like to take back. But he's really improved and he's focused. I love his mentality. I love his work ethic, and he's a very talented young man.
You talked a lot about the direction of playing as opposed to the distance. And obviously, I've just noticed that a lot over the last couple of years. Talk
About the importance of that versus just booming a 60-yarder.
Yeah, I think the combination of the distance, the hang, the direction, using the crosswind when it's there. Like I said, he's got a great mentality. He doesn't get flustered. He doesn't get ruffled. So others never get ruffled. He's really, he's got a great mentality, and I think he's just hitting his stride as a young punter. I know he had some good years in either Buffalo or Green Bay, but I think he understands how to kick in poor weather. He gets it, doesn't bother him, and he's done a nice job.
You guys, special teams had some errors the first half of the season, coverage, and blocked field goals, all that kind of stuff. What do you think has been the turnaround this last half of the year? Because you guys have been pretty solid most of the time.
Yeah, I would say so. Like any team in the league, you're always going to have a play here or a play there. The thing I like about our guys is they've bought in since day one. They want to be great. They want to do the right fundamentals, techniques, and with young players, you got to obviously continue to coach them, continue to make sure that they're doing the right things fundamentally. And I really like the fact that these young players have stepped up the second half of the year and have done well for us, including Cade. And those block field goals were low. 2 of them were low kicks. I think our field goal protection has been outstanding all year. But I think going into this last game, we got to finish strong and set that foundation.
It's supposed to be bad, but what do you think of Cade kick in Heinz Field for future years?
Oh, of course. I mean, I think, we got a little bit of a weather report today that's not supposed to be as bad as it could be in Pittsburgh. But, I think that open end of the stadium intimidates anybody, when you're watching it from afar or watching it on tape. So when he gets in there on, Sunday morning and starts warming up and late morning, and I think that'll be real important for him to understand how the winds work in that stadium. But hopefully it won't be too bad.
This week, just want to get him some work.
Yeah, I mean, when you got that kind of talent that hasn't dressed the first 2-3 weeks that he was here, he's done a really nice job in practice. He's got great quickness. He did a good job the other day and made the first guy miss and got upfield and did the things we asked him to do. And, I'm excited about him, and, he could be a guy that could compete for the job next year. So it'd be good to get some tape on him in a Browns uniform.
We talked so much about the defense being impacted by the injuries, but obviously it's a lot on you as well with Kanashik going down now. Just has this been one of the hardest years for you, just losing so many core special teams guys?
When you're going, it's a good question, but when you're going through it, you don't think about it being any harder than any other year. You just kind of roll with it, and that's what we've done. I mean, we've literally switched the depth chart on Sunday mornings. I mean, you get guys that are sick, or the guys, he can't play, or this guy, he can't play, so his backup, like a DeAnthony Bell, who's playing more on defense, and so it's like any other year. Any other team goes through it. I'd never make excuses. The thing that I think that we do a good job of here is that we prepare these young guys, whether they're on practice squad or as backups, prepare them the entire year, that when their number is called, they step up. And when you bring the right type of people in that we bring in, that our personnel guys bring in, and then you train those young men to make sure that they're ready when their when their number is called, then they go out and perform well. And I think we've done that this year.
A lot about building that foundation next year. Is that something you talk to Kevin about? Is just, we've set these kind of the foundational pieces, and we can be this much better next year?
I think that's what the offseason for, to be honest with you. This week we're focused on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and, I know he's focused on, what he's got to focus on as a head coach and calling the plays. And just like our defense is getting ready, this is a big week for us because it is Pittsburgh. It is an impactful, it's a meaningful game for the Cleveland Browns, for our city, for our fans, for this organization. So that's what the focus is this week. And then you're right, we will look back on this year, and we'll do all the reports and all the studies and, reflect on the year and then go from there. But I am excited about the future. I think that there are some good pieces of the puzzle here, and we're going to keep getting better.
As a coach, how do you help your players compartmentalize or cope with what happened with Damar Hamlin?
Yeah, first of all, I've met that young man. My son was a GA on that staff, and Coach Narduzzi's a very close friend of mine, and I know he was really shook up, as the whole nation was shook up. Obviously, like anybody else, we're, thinking about him and praying for him. And, I told our guys, I said, the thing that we can't do is we can't play tentative. When you play tentative and you go out there and do your job, but if you that's when guys get hurt, when they play tentative. So the good thing about us, I think we do a good job of coaching fundamentals and techniques. We do the right things. We keep our head out of tackling. We keep our head out of taking on blocks and blocking, and do all the little things right. And that being our foundation in terms of being prepared for every phase on special teams, I think that's going to help our guys and give them confidence going forward. But I know Coach Stefanski talked about it affects everybody differently. It affects all you guys differently, and it's been a rough deal. And we just obviously keep hoping that he continues to get better and makes a full recovery.
Creating consistency with special teams in mind.
Like any other year, and it's when you take young players, and like you guys said, we've had injuries and you got guys going in and out, and it's not easy. It's very difficult. It's time consuming, but that's what I love about my job. And I get to teach young guys that are very enthusiastic about the game of football, that love the game of football, that want to get better, that want to continue to improve. And we got guys calling me up on every day. I need some extra work here. Can I get extra work here? And even guys like a DeAnthony Bell, like I mentioned him earlier, he's he comes up for extra work, and he's been special teams standout for us the entire year as a college free agent safety for us. So I love my job. I love what I do. I love the challenges that it presents every week. And I think that's those challenges are fun for me, and I think every special teams coordinator in the league goes through those same type of challenges. But I actually love it, and when you have some adversity and you go out and you play well, when guys that just are activated on Saturday morning and they go out and play well for you, that means you've done your job that week. They've done their job and to prepare.
About the season as a whole once it's over, but with Cade specifically, just how he's handled these valleys, so to speak, in his performances, and how he's kind of tried to bounce back from that, since it's something he's never experienced before on this level.
Yeah, he's like we've talked a lot about here, and you guys ask me about Cade every week, but he's very confident. He knows he's good. He is good. There's some things he needs to do a little bit better that when he comes back next year, that's what we would expect him to improve upon. But I do like the future for Cade because he does have that mentality and confidence about him. And now he's got a year under his belt, and that's only going to help him going forward. And when he studies this year, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and then improves from there, I think he's only going to get better.
Thank you. You mentioned the future, obviously. Have you spoken to Kevin about the future here? And is there any uncertainty in your head about your future here, if you'll still be here?
No, I mean, I love it here. I'm under contract. I don't plan on going anywhere else. I'm from Cleveland. I want to help Cleveland win a world championship, and that's why I'm here, and that's my focus.
And I guess how do you deal with that as a coach? I mean, that's sort of the nature of
get ready for the Pittsburgh Steelers this week, and let the chips fall where they may, and let's go win a game and continue getting better that way.